This week's Parsha, Parshas HaOmer, deals with the Chagim, the different Jewish festivals that we have. And included within the festivals, it mentions the period of time between Pesach and Shavuot, which is a period which we refer to as Sefirat, HaOmer, the counting of the Omer. We know that this is a time of anticipation of receiving the Torah, and later on in Jewish history it has turned into a period of mourning as well, with the time of Lag BaOmer, the death of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, that very special experience where he explained that his death is to be celebrated because the secrets of the Torah were revealed on this day. It's a time within this period that we celebrate. What is the reason for the period of mourning? So our rabbis tell us in source number 3 that Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students, and all of them died at the same time of the year during the Omer because they failed to give honor to each other. Shelo nagu kavod zeh bazeh. Although this Chazal does not tell us exactly when these students stopped dying, the later commentators fill in the details. There are those who have their hair cut from Lag BaOmer onwards, since at this time the students of Rabbi Akiva, pasku milamud, stopped dying, and that's the tour. I'd like to look at a very interesting approach of the Zohar HaKadosh, an approach of the deeper wisdom of Torah, which we generally don't involve ourselves with for obvious reasons, and we'll see that clearly today. But I'd like to try to get perhaps a taste, a sense, to see the depth of Torah, to see the breadth of Torah, to see how much there is to learn and to delve and to explore. The Zohar HaKadosh is brought down in the Sefer Asara Mamaros Rabbi Mami Pano, who says the following. This is source number 2. There is a connection between the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva that died to 24,000 individuals that died in the sin of Baal Peor. Right? Just to remind ourselves of the story in source 1, at the end of Parshas Balak, we have that Israel settled in the Shittim, which was the name of the place, and the people began to commit harlotry with the daughters of Moab. They invited the people to the feast of their gods. The people ate and prostrated themselves to their gods, and Israel became attached to Baal Peor, and the wrath of Hashem flared up against Israel. So the place was Shittim. The god that the Jewish people worshipped, the god of Moab, was Baal Peor. And the Torah tells us how an individual from the tribe of Shimon, a leader, Zimri ben Salu, took a princess of Midian, Cosbi Batsur, and he publicly was with this woman, and how Pinchas killed both of them, and that stopped the plague. The Torah tells us, and the plague was halted from the children of Israel, and those that died in the plague were 24,000. So there seems to be obviously a connection in the number of 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva that died, and the 24,000 individuals from the tribe of Shimon who were killed in this plague by worshipping Baal Peor. And the obvious question is, there must be something deeper here than just a number of 24,000 and 24,000. So I'd like to try to explore on 3 different dimensions what is the connection between the two. And I'll say at the outset, the first level we're going to do, even though we're very, Baruch Hashem, we try to be very driven by what can we learn for our lives. The first level, my focus is going to try just to open us up to the depth and breadth of Torah, and I think that in itself is going to be a little bit unusual from our general approach, but it's going to be, that in itself, I think, will be enough to inspire us. And then the next 2, which we'll focus on more specifically, will be what we can learn for our lives, the message of the connection between these 24,000 students. The first approach I'm going to do primarily outside because of the details and the complexity, I think it will flow much better if we just speak about it. And if one would like to be ma'ayin inside, tavo lem bracha. It comes from Rav Pinchas Friedman, Belzer, Rosh Yeshiva, who wrote this HaOmer on Lag BaOmer. And he raises a question in the language of the tour that we spoke about of Pasku Milamud. And this is in source 4, they stopped from dying. He says stop from dying implies that some stopped from dying, which means that some remained alive. These stopped from dying. Stop from dying means that there were a lot of people, and now the dying has stopped, which means that there are those who are left over. But we know that all 24,000 students died. So what does it mean stop from dying? What's the implication here?